We asked you for your horror hot takes. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Ben.
And you're watching Talk Scary to Me.
Hey Ryan, how are we doing?
Good, brother, good. How are you?
I am feeling spicy for today's episode because
Spicy.
we asked the community for their horror hot takes, and we've got ones of our own to share with the people, don't we?
We do. Me and Ben haven't told each other our ones, so
No.
Episode 2, maybe the last episode.
It was a good run. We done well.
If he insults Terrifier, subtle foreshadowing, it's over.
I've got to leave now. What's good is that not only have we not shared what our hot take is to each other, we also don't know what each other's reactions are to the people's hot takes either. So There could be arguments all the way through it, or it could go sunshine and rainbows, and we agree completely.
This episode's either going to be 2.5 minutes long or an hour.
I think there will be some debates with the takes that we have, because some of them, oh my God, I can feel the tension through when you sent them to me, and I don't think some people are prepared.
Nah, there were a couple on here that I reacted violently to.
Which is what we all want, of course. We all
Absolutely.
want a good debate. At the end of the day, we need to remember that it's people's opinions, and of course, some of them are wrong. So that's fine.
There are. So,
are you going to kick us off?
I'll get us started.
All right.
So, this one is very close to home. This one is from Melissa West, who is my wife.
Oh, so
and this is
this could be bad.
Well, hers is The Shining is bad.
We are starting strong with the horror hot takes.
So this is a point of contention in our house because I think The Shining is a very, very close, if not, it is a perfect film.
Okay.
So, I have no fucking clue where she is coming from. She says it's long, well, too long, and it is too boring.
Okay.
I disagree.
Yep, you disagree. You think it's perfect. So this is very contentious in your household. The Jared Keane household may possibly just blow up at the end of this.
Yeah. I'll be sleeping outside when this goes up.
Okay.
What's your take?
For me, The Shining is mediocre.
That's insane.
I wouldn't say it's bad. I wouldn't go as far to say it's bad. I also wouldn't call it the perfect film. I think Jack Nicholson's performance in it is brilliant. He is great. But the film itself, for me, just didn't hold enough interest. I wouldn't say it's boring, but I kind of felt like I was waiting for the climax or not the end necessarily, but something to really jump out at me, and I just didn't get it. I mean, I saw this in the cinema, I think, last year or the year before, and I came out of it just being like, eh.
Okay. I presume that wasn't the first time you saw it.
No, I think I had seen it before when I was younger, but never really paid attention to it, or maybe I'd only seen like the scariest bits or like the most popular scenes from the film, but never sat to pay attention to it. So this was the first time as an intellectual brain that I watched it, and I was like, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
So I'll explain my love of the film.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
I mean, I'm not the only one. There are tons of video essays, shorts about what I perceive as a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Is because it's one of those films you can do the more and more digging on it, and it almost unravels itself purely because it was shot in a way that would confuse the viewer. Like, there's the geography of the hotel doesn't work. There's deliberate inconsistencies and mistakes, which are all intentional by Kubrick. And I like, because people, they talk about the continuity errors in terms of things moving. And I was like, well, no, I'm not the only one that says it. There's millions of people that know that everything was done for a reason. I can see the argument as to why people may think it's not generational, but to call it bad, and I love her with all my heart, I really do, but she cannot be more categorically wrong. Would you say The Shining is bad is a hot take?
I think it's a hot take just because of how beloved the film is, and I completely understand it. I think there's a lot more positive things that people say about it than negative. Like I say, I'm indifferent to it. Like, I can take it or leave it. I just don't think it's as generational as like what you and I know so many other people do. So I think to say it's bad and use that word specifically is a hot take.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Well, that's you in the doghouse. Anyway, moving on to number 2. We have our good friend Jess, known as Netflix Kill, online. Of course, go and follow her on Instagram, the socials, all the lot. Jess says, I don't get the hype of Barbarian or Longlegs. They were both disappointing. Thoughts?
So, I think, in regards to Longlegs, I think one of the best things about the entire being of it was the marketing. I think the 100%. I think the marketing behind Longlegs is one of the best that we've seen in a long, long time. In a way that people who aren't even remotely interested in horror were
intrigued to go and watch it.
Yeah, and they were trying to decipher what Nick Cage's character looked like, what the film was about. And I understand, because out of the two of them, Barbarian and Longlegs, I do very much prefer Barbarian. I
would agree.
In terms of rewatching it, so me and my wife have rewatched both a few times.
Yeah.
I enjoy Barbarian a lot more than Longlegs. So I understand not getting the hype of Longlegs. I don't necessarily understand not getting the hype of Barbarian, because I think Barbarian is a really, really good movie.
It's brilliant, yeah. I remember first watching Barbarian. I didn't get to see it at the cinema. I watched it at home. And I remember turning to Laura, my fiance, and being like, what the fuck is going on here? And I think as soon as she pulls up to the Airbnb and there's someone else there who shouldn't be there, I think that instantly grips you from the beginning. And then it just delves deeper and deeper into this story. And Justin Long turns up and he's got this dark history behind him. And then it just gets crazier and crazier. Whereas Longlegs is very much a sort of slow building, tense, almost detective thriller horror behind, this serial killer who then there's a paranormal aspect to it as well. Nick Cage, I fucking love Nick Cage. He is one of my favourite over actors of all time. And this was such, I think, a different role for him, which was interesting to see. And like you said, the marketing behind this film. So I know for a fact that so many horror films that get released now are marketed as this is the scariest horror film ever, or this is the scariest horror film of the year. And I know Longlegs had a lot of that going for it. And the trailers hooked you by not showing you what Nick Cage looked like, and the haunting voice that he has, the let me in now.
That's me not sleeping tonight. That was horrendous.
And them also hiding the paranormal aspect to it in the trailer, so it gave a little bit of a twist to it within the film. I would say neither of these are disappointing. I think maybe a lot of people went into Longlegs with this history of Barbarian behind them and such a massive marketing ploy behind it, possibly expecting more.
I think you're right. I think the thing that lets Longlegs down for me personally is the rewatchability. Even though you touched on Nick Cage there, Micah Monroe is absolutely incredible in Longlegs. One of my favorite characters and character performances in horror in the past couple of years. But I think Barbarian has so much going on. And I know people talk about the tonal shift in Barbarian, going from, you've got this very ominous intro with the bit Airbnb to this
Is it Bill Skarsgård as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's really great in it as well. And then you've got this mad tonal shift where Justin Long's character comes in, and I don't mind it. I think it works really well.
Yeah, it's also just remembering back to it as well. Like, obviously, when she turns up the Airbnb, it's dark. You don't see the street. It's like the only house lit up, and you think it's just a nice neighborhood. And then you get to daytime, and she's actually in a shithole.
Yeah. She's in Essex.
Yeah. And like, why is that house like the only one that's sort of prim and proper on the street? Again, it brings this intrigue to it that makes you want to. It lures you in almost.
Yeah, for sure. So I would say this is a hot take, and it is also not. I think not getting the hype behind Barbarian is a hot take. I would say not particularly with Longlegs.
Yeah, I think a lot of the premise behind people that we know, within the film world, as it would be, a lot of them love Barbarian, and Longlegs is very much Marmite, like you can give or take it. Even though there was a lot of positivity behind Longlegs, I think Barbarian is definitely the most beloved out of the two.
I agree. Next one is at Reese Cuts Deep on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now, I knew this was coming because he did a video on this.
Okay, interesting.
We have spoken about it.
Oh.
He says, The Exorcist sucks. Most overrated film ever. I would say, going down the list, this could well be the hottest take. And I mean, I disagree. I straight up disagree.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? So,
little behind the scenes before the show, we discussed what ones that we were going to talk about, and we've got 8 and our own 2. And out of the 8, I said to Ryan, there's 2 on here that I was considering being my hot takes. This is one of them. I wouldn't say I know.
One sec. I'm just gonna send an email. I need a new fucking co-host.
So, hear me out here.
Yeah, crack on.
Again, The Exorcist was probably one of those films that when I was younger, I maybe watched parts of it or knew bits about it and never really fully watched it beginning to end. And again, it was either last year or the year before. I think they released it for some sort of anniversary, and I went to go and watch it. And it really dragged for me. I think this has been done by time. I think it just doesn't hold up very well anymore. The whole beginning montage in Morocco, the fact that the priest is like an ex-boxer and that comes in for some reason. And what's done it for me is that I have seen Scary Movie 2 so many times. I relate The Exorcist to Scary Movie 2 more than I do The Exorcist.
Shake your ass. Watch yourself. I disagree. In terms, because I think this is a very hot take. I don't think it's a hot take to say that exactly what you've just said, which I think time has really done a number on this film.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
And I'm trying to take but look what it did for horror out of it, because there was always going to be a first massive horror film. There's always going to be a first, I think
that's like the possession film that everyone thinks of.
Exactly. Just because it was the first to do it, or the first big one to do it. So you've got to kind of, when you're talking about the film, kind of almost take that away. Yeah, sure, it was made in whatever year. Someone will shout at me about it. The 70s, some point.
I think it's like 74 or 75.
I want to say,
I saw it for a 50-year anniversary or something.
Yeah, so I think I was going to go see it as well. But I think even taking when it was made out of the equation and just watching it for what it is, do I think it's as phenomenal as it's sometimes held up to be? No.
Yeah.
Do I like it? Yeah, it's a good film. I don't think it sucks at all. I think it is a good film.
Yeah.
But to say most overrated is a bold statement, to say the least.
It's tough. Like, I don't think I'll ever watch that film again. In all honesty,
Yeah.
I don't think I ever need to rewatch it. But I can see what it done for the horror genre and for films going forward. So I understand like the meaning behind it, and I understand how important it was for horror cinema. It's just not for me.
Fuck's sake. Right. What's your next one?
So, we're both agreeing that is a definite hot take, because it is also one that I agree with.
It's a spicy take.
Yeah, it's very spicy. Exorcism fans, I apologise. Right, so moving on, we are going with, and I do apologise, this is either Isaac Neild or Isaac Neil D, but he says The Ring is outdated and not scary anymore.
Isaac.
Oh,
Isaac.
Strap the seatbelt on. Here we go.
Isaac, you're probably a nice guy, but fundamentally, you're stupid.
And IQ has been lowered.
And I know I'm working with you soon.
Oh,
so, you're wrong as fuck. Well, actually, hold on.
Oh no, what we got here? Oh, that's it. That's it.
Look how fucking cool that is.
Isaac, you got 7 days, mate. Sorry.
7 days. Fucking 7 minutes if you're lucky. Outdated and not scary anymore. Outdated. It's not. It's still a great film. It's a regular like rewatch for me.
Yeah.
So I think The Ring has two of the greatest horror moments of all time. One of them, I think, probably even being like top 5, and that is the I saw her face scene.
Yeah.
I think that is not only because it's just visually
striking.
Yeah, but also like the visceral reaction I had the first time I watched it, because you're not expecting it. It's a jump scare without being jumpy, because it's just you don't see it coming. But also the scene where Samara comes out the telly is one of the best scenes.
It is truly iconic, yeah.
Yeah, so I think out of the list, I mean, I said that for The Exorcist as well. Out of this whole list, I think this is the one I probably disagree. Oh no, there's one coming later that I really
hold your thoughts there.
Okay, this is the second most outrageous one.
Yeah,
because I think the film is phenomenal, and yeah, it's not scary in a way that I think once you've seen it, you're kind of desensitized to it because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
But I think to say it's outdated is fucking insane.
Yeah, it's hard to say outdated because it's a film that relied on technology as well. I know it's like the videotape and the VHS, but that can still be brought into media now. Like, can you imagine if they redone one where it's like a TikTok that you watched? It's not outdated. Like, it can be brought forward, you know? So I would not say outdated because it can definitely be brought forward. And not scary is hard because so much of horror nowadays people try to expect, or people think jump scares are coming around the corner, and people get scared by different things, you know. Some people are creeped out by shadows in the dark. Some people are creeped out by gore, you know. It's completely different.
I feel that. So, would you say that's a hot take?
I definitely disagree with the outdated term because I think it was one of the first ones to maybe bring technology into a horror aspect, and it not be like some sort of horror technology to try and, you know, lure ghosts in. It was to do with a videotape that got spread around, you know. I think it's a hot take because The Ring has such a following of loyal people that love those original films, you know. So outdated, I disagree with. Scary, that's up to whoever watches it. And especially her crawling through the TV, is one of the creepiest moments, I think, in horror history anyway. Period.
Sure. Oh, Isaac.
Yeah, good luck sorting that one out when you're working with him next.
Oh, Isaac.
Right, what have we got next?
So the next one is from Shannon Fletcher, who is at Spooky Fox Horror on Instagram. Her hot take is, I really liked Halloween Ends. Now, this is the only time on the list that we're going to bring Halloween up, because we got numerous comments about the original Halloween.
Yeah, Halloween came up fairly often.
Yeah, and I think to me, it seemed like the most common one was about the 1978 film and people not enjoying it. I think that's been said to the point where it's no longer a hot take. But in regards to what Shannon said, I really liked Halloween Ends. That's insane because it's absolute booty cheeks.
That film is so poo-poo. Like, I remember literally in the middle of the cinema watching that, and the scene where I don't even remember the guy's name. He goes to a party and he's just on the floor and people dancing around him at like some sort of disco. And I remember turning to Lauren beside me and I'm like, what the fuck are we watching? Like, where's Michael Myers? Where's a butcher knife? What is going on here? And I think it's one of them films that the trailers promised way more than got delivered.
I think all the shots of Michael in the trailer were that was all of him in the film.
Yeah, like him in the sewer and then him fighting Jamie Lee Curtis at the end. And I hated the fact that when he went into the sewer and he found where Michael was and he got the mask off him, the way that he just like out-muscled him so easily when like Michael Myers is like the fucking Terminator. He goes through literally the film beforehand, Halloween Kills, the whole town couldn't kill this motherfucker because he's so tough.
Yeah.
And he's taken beatings, he's taken shootings, he's taken stabbings, he's lost an eye. Yet he somehow out-wrestled him, some random dude, and tried to take over his personality.
I watched it not in the cinema. And I remember just getting to the end, I was like, that's a fucking insult to the original.
It's terrible, yeah.
So I think this one's going to be a short one. That is a very hot take. And
say that she liked it as well. Shannon, no. We are so sorry.
No,
lovely girl.
She said, I really liked Halloween Ends.
Really liked. Like that. Yeah, even exaggerating more onto the liked is far too much.
I agree. So that's a hot take.
That is. Okay, so we're moving on to another good friend of ours, Ashley B. Red. Ashley says, It Follows is incredibly overrated. Incredibly overrated.
So, when I read the list, I actually thought this is the one that I probably agree with the most.
Interesting. Okay.
Purely because I think that It Follows is not a bad film. Yeah. But I think what it suffers from is the premise is actually cooler than the film is good. If that makes sense. It doesn't. The
idea of the film is better than what was shown on screen.
Exactly. And I think I would actually agree with Ash here. So I've watched it, I believe, twice, and I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But it's not it depends how you perceive it or how you've heard it perceived, because I personally don't think it is an amazing film, but it's good. So I would agree with Ash. I think it is overrated. Incredibly overrated? I'm not sure.
My opinion, I don't think it's overrated. I really like It Follows. I remember first seeing it, and I know the scene, when people think of It Follows, everyone thinks of that one scene of the tall guy coming in into the door frame behind the girl, and it is creepy as fuck, and probably is the scariest scene in the film. It's one of those films that is like a bit of a spine tingler. It raises the hairs on your arms. It's not overtly in your face scary. And it's also the thought of like this invisible force following you everywhere you go until you pass it off to someone by having sex with them. And I know, horror and sex go quite intertwined with each other. So I think this was like a good spin on breaking the niche of teens have sex and then get killed by a slasher. It's actually the main premise of the film of like they have to pass it on to someone else and then the horror follows them around. I think the film, I wouldn't say it's underrated either. I think the people that enjoy it rate it completely as it should be, but not overrated in my opinion. I really enjoy it.
Spicy take?
Oh, for me, it's a spicy take. So I didn't know that you didn't, rate the film either, to be honest. So maybe there are more people out there than I think that don't rate the film that highly.
Yeah.
But I think it's spicy because I just don't hear the discourse as often.
I think that's valid. Yeah, like I said, I don't dislike the film. I think it's good. In fact, it's really good. You saying about the tall man scene is, I think in terms of single scares, I think it's fucking fantastic.
It just takes you so off guard.
Yeah, like that lanky motherfucker just appeared, and I shit my pants. But like as a film, I have never been in a rush to like rewatch it. So that's kind of a massive thing about how I think about horror films is, am I going to rewatch this? And It Follows is just never a film that I think I'm going to put it on.
Completely fair. So you agree with Ash's take.
Yeah.
I disagree with the take. I think it has to go in the spicy category because you two are some of the only people I know who think it's overrated. So, spicy take.
So my last viewer take is from Thomas Rue. And he says, I do not care for Hereditary as much as everyone else seems to.
Oh, okay. So I think Hereditary is another one of those sort of cult following modern masterpieces that loads of people love. And I also love it. Yeah,
I think it's, in terms of films that have come out in like the last, not even the last 10 years, like 2010 onwards, Hereditary is top 5 in terms of how good it is. It's fucking insane.
Mate, Toni Collette's performance in that, just Toni Collette, the amount of people that say now about how she should have had Oscar shouts or award shouts for her performance in that film, I think the more people go back and rewatch it and the more people that get involved with Hereditary come to terms with, perhaps we should have shown her a bit more love.
Dude, I think she is probably the best part of that film. But also, I mean, it's a shame Thomas didn't give us reasons, because when I think of that film, I think of it gives you so much, and I'm not going to give a spoiler warning for a film that's like 8 years old.
Yeah,
because fuck that. But all the time, all the way through, I remember following the marketing for it, and I forget the daughter's name, but she was the main face of all the posters in all the trailers, and she dies like a third of the way into a film in the most unexpected and horrific way possible.
Still shocks people to this day.
Dude, it's one of those films I'd love to show someone for the first time without telling them anything.
Yeah, and just look at their reaction.
Yeah, dude, it's up there with fucking Empire Strikes Back in terms of like films that I wish I didn't know what happened just to go through that again. But then you've got this, I think what turns some people off to Hereditary is the cult stuff. Because I think out of all the things in that film, that's the one that is kind of potentially underexplained, but the storytelling is so subtle that you do need multiple viewings sometimes. But when you couple that with, I mean, an absolutely fucking amazing performance from Toni Collette, it's one of those films that I don't know how people would dislike it as a horror fan.
I think the rewatchability on that film is crazy. Like you say, there are so many subtle pieces of storytelling that happen in the background, or that the characters are doing that you're not paying attention to because maybe there's some dialogue that's going on. So not only is it Toni Collette's performance that is amazing, Alex Wolff's performance, he literally smacked his head on that desk for real to like break his nose, and the way his character just like stoops lower and lower because of everything that's going on, and I've literally just got shivers thinking about the scene of him in his room and Toni Collette is like crawling around the ceiling or the walls just in the background, and it is fucking freaky. And to say that you don't care for it at all is spicy.
I agree. I think it's one of the spicier ones.
Yeah, because Hereditary is so well loved, I think, by most. Well, obviously not by Thomas Rue, but by most of like the film community.
So Thomas Rue, you're wrong, motherfucker. Ben, what's the final viewer hot take?
Okay, so I know, apart from Art the Clown being an awesome character, the Terrifier films are terrible. Ryan, the thoughts that the Terrifier films are terrible, and we've lost Ryan. Ryan is gone. This has become a single man podcast. Okay. The Terrifier films are not terrible. Oh, the sunglasses are out.
What the fuck are you talking about? Right. I'm not angry at you, Ben.
Breathe.
I'm not angry at you, Ben.
I am the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger.
You just read it.
I read stuff.
First of all, Art the Clown. Yes. He's fucking awesome.
Yes.
Second of all, check your fucking head. I can understand. So when I asked, little backstory, when I asked my wife for her spicy takes, one of the ones that she said was Terrifier 1 is bad.
Oh, okay.
I love it. I personally adore that film. I can see why. It's very, very low budget. The story there isn't a story.
It was more a cult film, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a slasher, and it was Damien doing what he does, and David Howard Thornton flexing his weird little creepy muscles. But I mean, objectively, Terrifier 2 and 3 are great films, and that's not me being a Terrifier fanboy. I think they are. In terms, they're just so fucking good. Ben.
Yep.
Ben.
Yep.
What do you think?
Okay, I will bring my opinion across here. The Horror Project podcast owe everyone an apology. I think they must have mistyped something in their message. Yes, Art the Clown, I think, once Terrifier 4 comes out, could go down as one of the most iconic horror characters of all time. I think already he might even be surpassing Pennywise as the best horror clown. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I'm going to throw that out there. I love the Terrifier films as well. I don't think they're terrible films. I think there are issues with them. You may agree with me here, but Terrifier 1, yes, there was no real plot. It was just there's some mad-ass clown going around killing people for the sake of it. Terrifier 2 then brought the plot into the film, but was way too long. Yeah. Terrifier 3 then came around, continued with the plot aspect, but brought the runtime back down and is the best out of the three, sorry.
Yeah, I love all of them. And I've said before, I'm not a film reviewer. I'm just a motherfucker that loves horror. I understand that the first one is, like I said, very low budget, very limited in regards to plot. And it's odd because I think when all is said and done with Terrifier 4, I think Terrifier 2, 3, and 4 will feel like the trilogy.
Yeah, and one being like, because it was a short film to begin with, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, art had appeared in other stuff, but Terrifier 1 is almost like it's almost like the 0.5 to this sequel.
Yeah,
but in what they do, because I'm struggling to find something that I would deem terrible about the Terrifier films, and I'm glad we left this one till last of the viewers because I think I'd have no energy left for the others if we'd done this one first.
You'd have been done after 10 minutes.
Mate, it'd be a very short pod. Because I think in terms of acting, David Howard Thornton is, as Art the Clown, is up there in terms of the relationship between the actor and the character, like akin to a Robert Englund and Freddy. He will always, eventually say for instance, the Terrifier films go the same way as like the Halloween films, where it becomes just something that gets made every few years. And then eventually one day someone else other than David may play Art. But in terms of who Art is, David is perfect.
Yeah.
Lauren Lavera as Sienna Shaw, I've already said, is the greatest modern horror final girl. And in terms of acting and her character, do I think that the plot is perfect? No, but I also think that's partly because it's not done.
Yeah.
And I think that's my biggest gripe with the film, is that
it's an unfinished story.
Exactly, and it's kind of taken a step away from being just a slasher film. You've now got this supernatural and otherworldly horror. But to be able to do that, could you imagine if the Halloween films had gone down that route? Like, that would be fucking mental. But yeah, I think I would personally like to set up a charity boxing match with me and you against Horror Project Pod, because that is the spiciest take I've ever heard.
Yeah. What I love about the Terrifier films as well, especially Terrifier 3 and what we're going to get with Terrifier 4, is making it seasonal. So Terrifier 3 was a Christmas film. Terrifier 4 is going to be set over New Year's.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to the Easter Bunny, Art the Clown.
So we are getting, not only are there going to be fireworks in that film, there's been fireworks from this take, because we are both in huge disagreement. Massive disagreement, because we love the Terrifier films, and we do agree that Art the Clown is an awesome character, but to say the films are terrible, get out.
I'm actually grumpy now. That's mental.
You haven't even heard my take yet.
I want to go back 10 minutes ago where I was really happy. So yeah, they're the viewers' hot takes.
They are.
Out of the 8 we've had so far, I mean, this seems silly, but what do you think was the spiciest take?
Well, personally, obviously, the Terrifier take, but then also Halloween Ends being good. I'm so sorry, Spooky Fox Horror. That film is toilet.
Yeah, it's poo-poos. I just because of how much I love it, I think saying The Ring is not scary is mental. So, as we said earlier in the show, we have both prepared a hot take. I'm going to go first and get Ben's reaction.
And again, we have not discussed this. This is going to be genuine, 1-to-1 now. Actual reaction. Ryan, get spicy with me.
So, I haven't got a hot take. I'm just kidding. No, so my hot take is actually Terrifier related.
Okay.
And you very nearly touched on it. So actually that makes me think that it's not so spicy and I've just wasted everyone's time. So I believe in 50 years, when I'm probably dead, Art the Clown will be remembered as more of a horror icon than not only Pennywise, but also Jason Voorhees.
Okay. I just stuck with the clown route. I think, wow.
So my reasoning.
Okay, yeah. Let's hear that while I take this in.
Yeah. So I was talking to I can't remember who it was. I was talking to a friend of mine, and the subject of the horror Mount Rushmore came up.
Yeah.
I think there's a few shoo-ins. I think Freddy. I would say Michael.
I almost came out and said my ones then, because I don't know. I wonder if they would vary. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so my ones, because I think again it depends on what you're looking at. Are you looking for impact? Are you looking at how iconic they are? But I was going with Freddy, Michael. I think you arguably have to put Leatherface in there. And then it's either going to be, you've got Chucky, you've got Ghostface.
Ghostface, yeah.
I think Ghostface absolutely goes in there. But I think in terms of in the future, because it will change, I think there is more of a chance of Art the Clown ending up in there than someone like Jason. Because you look at Art the Clown, realistically, has only been around for 10 years, and you look at everybody knows Art the Clown. I speak to family members of mine who have never seen a Terrifier film, but they know who Art the Clown is.
Yeah, big time.
And I think in terms of what they've already done, Terrifier is going to get bigger, whereas Friday the 13th has had so many films, but substantially less bangers.
I was literally going to say, especially within pop culture, I 100% agree. Michael Myers, Freddy. I think Ghostface, again, because of pop culture, everyone knows the Ghostface mask. Everyone knows the Scream franchise. Jason, as much as he's got the look with the hockey mask, and we know he's got a big machete, the films are nowhere near as memorable. And whereas Terrifier, people remember some of the kill scenes in it, the death scenes. People know for a character, much like other horror characters, who does not speak, has no dialogue, and it's just their personality coming through the acting, Art is way more memorable than Jason for me. And it's hard because so many of these characters are slashers, but I think the big argument between like Michael Myers versus Jason, Michael Myers is so clear of Jason to me.
Yeah.
That is also because there are stronger Halloween films than what there are Jason films.
Yeah, and I think Jason as well, like they proved with Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Takes New York, whatever that pile of shite's called. They've kind of proved that taking Jason away from Camp Crystal Lake they can't really make it work.
He went to space.
He did go to space, and he did. I mean, maybe my hot take should have been Freddy versus Jason is actually a fucking class film.
I love Freddy vs. Jason. Thank you.
Not that hot, but yeah, I think it's class. Whereas Art the Clown, I think the possibilities are. You've got more possibilities with Art. The only thing that makes me think that I might be wrong is that Art hasn't had the cooling off period that Jason has. We're very much between the third and fourth installment.
Yeah, we're in productions. Yeah,
Art the Clown arguably has never been bigger, but I think you'll have more people who are inclined to put on a Friday the 13th film. You've got, young teenagers who are more likely to put on a Friday the 13th film than a Terrifier film, because Terrifier it's almost, because bear in mind, we're horror guys. We don't really see it, but Terrifier's still kind of got a bit of a taboo around it, because people think that Art the Clown, like the kills in these films are like inhumane and they're the worst things in the world.
Yeah, or people say like gore porn or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And it's very much getting the treatment that Terrifier's getting the treatment that Saw got, 20 years ago.
I've never really made that comparison, but yeah, people were saying, the writers of these films have to be sickos because how could anyone think up these ideas, Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah, so that is my hot take.
Okay. My take, if I was to do that, would have stopped at Pennywise. I don't think I would have thrown Jason's name into it. So it's a hot take because that is such a huge name within horror and the Friday the 13th, franchise. That is hot.
Yeah, and I think as well, Jason has kind of already proved that he can stand the test of time. Art is obviously not proved yet.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, wow. Right.
Benji.
My hot take, and it is around a film that has not been mentioned yet.
Okay.
And that is Paranormal Activity is one of the greatest modern horror films of the 2000s.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you're thinking about it.
Okay.
So Paranormal Activity, when that first came out in the cinemas, what was it, like mid to late 2000s, I want to say? 2008, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, I remember sneaking into it before I was 15.
Yeah. That was one of the first horror films where I think the marketing blew me away for it. As in, yes, again, it got, punched with that scariest film of all time, the scariest film you'll see this year. It showed crowd reactions. It had people walking out. And when I went to go see this at the cinema, I shat myself. And it is one of those films that still stick with me because for me, sometimes in horror, the scariest thing is you can't see it. It's your imagination. That is the scariest thing to me. And I think especially the first two Paranormal Activities, so Paranormal Activity 1 and 2, are still so strong and hold up to this day because it's not all about the CGI or the makeup or the effects. So much practical work was done in those and it looks great.
You've made a really good case, which is actually insane because when you said that was...
Especially for a franchise that I don't hear many people talk about anymore because it was, again, one that did get weaker as time went on, unfortunately, and as like the films went on.
I think it got substantially weaker, but we're talking about the first one. So listen, it came out 2009. Yeah, I was 14. I snuck in to see it because it was a 15 in the UK, and that was the first time I had ever seen anyone run out of a cinema screen. At the climax, I remember it pretty vividly. A couple of girls ran. Well, it was kind of when, again, I'm giving a spoiler alert for a film that's nearly 20 years old.
20 years old.
And it was at the climax where Mika gets thrown at the camera, a couple of girls
coming up the stairs.
Yeah, a couple of girls in our screen actually ran out and I thought, oh fuck, this is what horror can do. This is cool as fuck. I think in terms of what it did, it's got so I would put it in every few years you get a film which kind of makes a lot more waves. I think it's obviously, you've got a few. There's Blair Witch. I'd argue Paranormal Activity goes in there because it kind of reinvented the found footage genre.
Yeah.
10 years after Blair Witch. You've got films like The Conjuring, which kind of reinvigorated the paranormal cinematic style of film.
Yeah.
So in terms of because I'm kind of trying to separate what Paranormal Activity did for horror. What it did for horror, was phenomenal because it genuinely scared. It brought in a more mainstream audience and scared the shit out of them.
100%.
However, your statement about Paranormal Activity being one of the greatest films of all time is...
I said modern.
Modern? Okay.
Yeah.
I still think that's fucking insane. I'm sorry, dude. That's nuts. I've rewatched it. Again, we're looking at a film that came out in 2009. 17 years have passed. I disagree with you, brother. I don't think it's... If I was to sit down and I had a full day to look at my top 10 films of the last 20 years, Paranormal Activity is not breaking the top 10.
That's a shame to hear that. It's one of those films that I could rewatch it any time.
Yeah.
And there might be some new stuff that I still missed because it's not, especially throughout, the sort of first 2/3 of the film, it is not an in-your-face horror. It is subtly things happening that you don't know if you caught or not, or it's, the corner of your eye. It's like, did I see that? Did I not? I love that in horror as much as I love the upfront gore stuff, but I love subtle scares that send that tingle down my spine and make me want to rewatch it again because you feel like you may have missed something. I think that's what Paranormal 1 and 2 do really well, because especially where it's home cameras, it's like, is that shadow meant to be there? Is it not? Did I just see the door start closing? Is that drawer opening? All that sort of stuff. And another bit that I loved about it is the ending. There was like no credits. The film just cut off. So it made you really think this was a true story. This actually happened. This is real found footage. And back, like you said, in 2009, I was like, what the fuck? Ghosts are real. I can't go home. There's going to be something there. And it's just stuck with me ever since.
When you look at like the found footage genre, it's definitely up there in terms of like one of the most impactful. Because I mean, one of my spicy takes was going to very much be along the same line as yours, but I was going to switch out Paranormal Activity for Cloverfield, which is another found footage film.
Yeah.
But I've rewatched Cloverfield since I first saw it, and it's good. It's not amazing though. But the thing with Paranormal Activity, I think, which stops me from thinking it's better, is I've said it before, is the rewatchability. For me, the first 2/3 of the film are not as enjoyable as the first time I watched it. Yeah. So I think that is an outstandingly hot take, my friend. Spicy boy.
I love the spice. I wanted to bring it. It's a film that I don't hear a lot of people talk about anymore. I know as a franchise it's sort of dead and buried, but there is the stage show, which you have gone and seen, right?
Yeah, dude. I saw the stage show a few months ago. Really fucking cool. Really fucking cool. Because I didn't know because I didn't know how it was going to translate from screen to stage. You know, I didn't know if it was going to be an adaptation of one of the films, but no, it's a completely original story. And that's
great.
And this is hashtag not an ad, but go see it, because I don't know where it's touring at the minute, but it's called I think it's just Paranormal Activity.
I think it's Paranormal Activity on stage, yeah.
Yeah, and dude, I won't spoil anything, but there's, I think, 2 or 3 moments. It's a really cool story, but there's also 2 or 3 moments that genuinely scared the absolute fuck out of me.
That's what you want.
That is what you want. And yeah, go see it. But I would rather go watch the stage show again than rewatch the first film, which apparently you think is one of the best modern horror films.
Indeed, and that is why it's a hot take.
That is a hot take.
We just want to say as well, thank you to everyone that sent in your hot takes. You can continue to send in hot takes to us. We'll link all of our socials in the description. It's the Talk Scary to Me show on Instagram. Send them in, because we could do a part 2 to this, because like you said, there were some that we didn't get round to. I'm sure we have others as well.
Yeah.
But definitely go and follow us on the socials. Give us your hot takes, or just horror opinions in general, because we'd love to do more videos with your guys' interaction in it.
Yeah. And we'll be doing a part 2 in the next couple of months, because I think they're really good fun. And I think that's what's cool about the horror genre, is you can debate so much about it. Apart from the Horror Project podcast, you're not allowed to write them ever again. Yeah, unless you want to scrap, then we'll talk. But guys, thank you so much for watching. My name's been Ryan,
and I'm Ben.
Thank you for
talking scary to us.
Yeah!